you had a great 3-day weekend. Happy post-Easter. Today, I have a lot of little things planned for you guys. You probably already saw my Edsby post yesterday. It was asking you to start putting your ideas on paper. It's an important part of the artistic process to kind of start getting your ideas formulated, and even though it's still in your mind and you kind of have a generalized idea, it's good to see it on paper. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is we're going to be formulating our images and our sculptures down on paper so we have a more refined idea of how we're going to put these things together. So let me talk to you about those things a little bit more. Now, as yesterday's assignment, I had asked everybody to make some contour drawings, and some of you guys might be like, what's a contour drawing? A contour drawing is just an idea or a loose sketch. It gives you an idea of what the overall image is going to look like. If you look at Leonardo da Vinci or any other artists really, but Leonardo da Vinci did it a lot in his own personal sketchbooks. Even Vincent van Gogh does it a lot. Renoir did it a lot, where they had just a personal little notebook and they would do these little like sketches and ideas before they kind of made the whole overall image. So basically today, all we're doing are some light sketches in order for us to get these ideas put on paper. Now, a contour drawing doesn't really include much things like shading or depth really. It's just kind of a really loose idea. So that's what we're gonna be working on. I'm gonna bring you guys over to my computer and I'm going to be able to draw on my computer through Photoshop and my little digital pen that I think I've shown you guys. And so we're gonna bring it over to the computer and we'll be able to show you how all that stuff can look on paper. Hey, I just want to let you know that if you guys are having problems in other classes or anything else, please just let me know. As an educator, I'm here for everyone who needs help for any class. So I love math, I love science, I love history. I'm very good at all those things. So if you need any help, just send me a direct message on Edsby and I'll be there to help you, okay? So don't stress. Hey guys, here we are on my computer now. I have my little digital pen here and I have my digital drawing pad. This is just to make it easier for you to see what it is that I'm looking for with your contour drawings. Now, with 3D students, it's a little bit easier. It's not quite as technical. I'm just looking for you guys to just draw down some ideas so that you can kind of convey to me what it is that you're going to be doing in your upcoming projects. Again, we're going to be using all natural environmental types of materials, so like sticks and leaves and stones and soil and sand and ash, whatever you can really find in your environment around your house. But instead of just going out and trying to whip it together and trying to make it work, I love for you to try to draw it down so you have at least an idea of what you're going to do. Now, people even like Andy Goldsworthy are really well known for doing this step because it refines your idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it over to my screen here. I'm going to share my screen onto my desktop and share. And there we go. So I got a little image up of me up here in the corner. You can see me, and this is my surface I'm going to be working on. I got my pad turned around here. Flip her over. There we go. So now I have my my mouse going on there. So basically, all I'm looking for you guys to do is a couple of different ideas. So let's take this surface here and let's divide it into 4 areas. So let's just like this. And just like in class where we have those contour drawings or those ideas on that piece of paper that I normally give you during every project, it has like 3 or 4 boxes and it says, you know, refine your idea on there. So basically I'm looking for the same idea, the same kind of thing. So let's zoom in on one of our quadrants here. And there we go. And so all I'm going to do here is one of my first things I was thinking about doing was in my back lanai there, I have a rock path. You actually might have seen it on the introduction of this video. So on that rock path, I have rocks that are about the size of just a little smaller than my fist. So I'm thinking of on my rock path there, which is kind of shaped like this, kind of comes out and then it comes in like this. And and then I have these like little diamond like stepping stones that kind of fit into my rock path there. And so what I'm thinking of doing maybe is I'm going to use those rocks in an interesting way. So let me just get rid of those little diamonds and that. Step 4 once. Redo brush stroke. Yeah. So basically what I'm thinking of is using rocks. So I'm just going to write that in the top. This drawing pen's a little different than actually writing, so bear with me here. And basically I'm thinking of taking stones and stacking them on top of each other. Now, I want to do them a little bit more complex than that because, you know me, I'm an overachiever. And I used to do this in college when I used to go to school in Maine. And what I would do is go down to the beach and I'd find like one big rock like this. And then I'd find a long rock like this. And then using it as kind of like a counterweight, I would put a really heavy stone on this side, like this, like a big stone. And I would do a bunch of little stones on this side like this. And sometimes I would even build up the center like this, or actually I'd even put like another couple stones on this side. And I would build up the center like this and put some stones on there like that. So that's kind of like one idea I would use for the stones. So another idea I would do with those stones is probably more of like a topographical or a bird's eye view. And just like Andy Goldsworthy, he took stones and he did them in kind of this like a cylindrical or circular kind of shape like this, and he would make them go in like a corkscrew. Now, something he also did is he actually meticulously broke the stones into pieces, and he would let me adjust my brush here just so I can do some more defined lines, and he would break these into little bits like this and do that. But instead of that, because I don't want to just mimic or exactly copy him, I'm thinking that maybe in addition to all these larger stones, that I pack smaller stones in here to kind of fill in all the little gaps like this. And I'm thinking that maybe I'm gonna do this like, let's say like 2 feet by like 2 feet. So that's another idea I'm going to do with stones. And I'm just going to leave that there. So that's basically all I'm really looking for as far as one general idea using those types of materials. I'm going to just label some of these like large, small, and then like balance. Sorry, the doesn't really come out very well on the computer when I draw it. It's not as sensitive as I was hoping. But basically I just balance these, or like saw. There you go. So that's kind of one idea. So another idea I was having was that I have an enormous pile of leaves. Since my last video, I have taken all the leaves in my yard and I have blown them into a giant pile. So I have a lot of dead leaves that I have to work with. And one idea that I had was I have this large fence that runs across the back of my property, kind of like this. And I was thinking of somehow adhering the leaves. So just to be interesting, let's change up the color here real quick. That. Now I was thinking about maybe Andy Goldsworthy does this interesting kind of like line kind of effect like this that he likes to work with, and it's kind of just a a solid line that kind of moves through a natural environment. And I was thinking about on this fence. So here is my fence, and they have, you know, posts on it just like this, something like this. And I was thinking that maybe I could adhere these leaves to the fence in this kind of interesting shape, and maybe go like, I don't know, maybe like 6 feet or so, or maybe even like 4 feet to make it easier for myself. And then the leaves, just color them green just so you can understand what I'm talking about. And then put the leaves like this, kind of like in this interesting shape across the fence line, in this like interesting shape that kind of weaves in and out of itself in this really interesting and delicate kind of line. So that's another idea, and I would just kind of continue that all the way around. Now, because I have so many leaves, I would like to take the different colors of leaves and work with them together. So in like almost a gradient scale. Now, Andy Goldsworthy does this in a bunch of different pieces of work, where he takes gradient leaves or all kinds of stuff, and he would start with something like, say, let's start with green. So his outside leaves would be like green, like this. And let me actually do something like this to make it easier. There we go. Change this to key. This. Not 43. 4 pieces. There. So he would do like a green ring on the outside, like so, all the way around. Now this these contour drawings, I don't want you guys to spend a whole lot of time on them, because I know it is challenging to keep up with all of your classes, and I really want you to focus on your core classes. So please don't take any more than like 20 or 30 minutes kind of making these ideas up. And then he would do another one like this. Stretch that aside, there we go. And let's do a fill on that. Let's change the color to something like this. And image, layer, canvas tone, edit, stroke, and wax as well. So, and then he would put more leaves on the inside like this, around and around. And I'd really pack them in there and kind of overlap them and make them look really nice and even. And maybe do one more like this, and choose, kind of find some darker kind of brown color leaves like so, and do those in the center as well, all the way around like so. And so kind of just layer them on top of each other. I'm gonna call this leaves. So that's one plan. So that's a couple different ideas. And then we have also, what else can I use that's in my area? Now I have plenty of flowers, of course, and different colors. So let's try to think of something with some flowers I could work with. So I do remember those butterfly flowers, or butterfly plant that I had shown you. So, you know, we can take those flower petals or something, and something else that I've seen other artists do is take material that's very colorful and kind of try to like paste it onto the surface, or like adhere it onto the surface of something that is the opposite of the colorful item. So for example, they would take leaves or flowers and kind of adhere them or press them onto like a stone. So I have stones and I have flowers, so let's try to see if that would work well. So let me get, if I took like a stone like this, and I were to take those flowers like so, and I were to like just press those flowers onto the stone and then cover the whole stone in just red flowers all the way around like so. And I would do this to like maybe like 5 stones, and then I would place them in with the path that I have out back. So I would have this path that is shaped like this, like so. And then I would have all the stones that are in there, all these little black stones everywhere, like so. And then among all those stones, I would have just like 5, I'd have just like 5 really bright red ones using those red flowers. So I would just cover this thing as many flowers as I can find off of that one plant, and I would just color this all in with as many flowers, just kind of pushing them onto the surface. And this may work, it may not work. I'm still gonna have to experiment, but that's the reason why we write all these things down. So that's one idea. And I also have a large tree, and it would be really cool if I took the same kind of concept, but I did it with a branch. Like I have a couple of low branches. So what if I took a branch? So let's take like the color brown, so I know what I'm talking about here. And I were to take like a branch like this, and I were to, let's give it like a little branch sticking off from it, a little branch down here like this. And I were to take some colors, say I have a white flower that's starting to come in. It's actually like a little bit of bluish white. And I were to take that bluish white flower and adhere that in a really tight pattern like this in a really specific spot on the branch, almost like a scarf or something, like a wrap of color that kind of interrupts the texture and the line of the tree as it is naturally, you know? Andy Goldsworthy's done this in a couple pieces of his work, and I find that really interesting as well. So these are flowers. And these are also flowers. It's always important to write notes so that later on when you come back around, you know what it is you're talking about. And this is like a branch. Okay. And so for one more idea, I was kind of thinking, I do have like a lot of different types of plants, so in my garden, but I also kind of was thinking about making something a little bit more larger in scale. And what do we have that's very common around here are like palm fronds. So I was thinking maybe I can take palm fronds, which have a really tough kind of middle piece that goes through the center of it. And I was thinking maybe I could take a palm frond and I would take that little middle piece that goes through the center like this. And normally it looks like this, right? Like a normal palm frond. And I was thinking of cutting off all this, the frond part, right? And I would just be left with just this piece. And a lot of people are doing garden cleanups and yard cleanups right now, so it'd be pretty easy to get these. And I could use these as a way to kind of, I always love the idea of balancing natural items. So I was thinking maybe I could take these pieces of material and just kind of balance them intricately on top of each other. Today it would be really tough because I got a lot of wind. So I might have to, it's just an idea, it's just something to work with. And I would stick one of those palm fronds into the ground like this. And I would just balance another palm frond on top like that. And then delicately kind of continue to balance other pieces on top of each other like so. And maybe even taking some of these pieces of the palm fronds, which are like really light and wispy, and hanging them from it like this. So it's kind of almost like a mobile, like a natural mobile that hangs out. And so these are from palms. And this is more of like a balancing act as well. I could also like tie these together in different areas using the palm fronds. And one last idea I was having was the same thing with the palm fronds, but instead of doing a balancing act, I have an area of my backyard that normally gets really wet, and I can just spray it down with a hose, and that would kind of give me like a puddle. So I'm thinking that if I get a puddle, that means I can get a reflection. So out this again, choose blue, there we go. So if I get a puddle, I can get a reflection. And if I can get a reflection, that means I can take those palm fronds like so, and I can kind of construct them like this in an interesting way so that they make like a circle like this. It's a little too low. There we go. So. And then that would be kind of interesting because the reflection would automatically reflect the other half of the circle down below, like so. And so it would look like it's a complete circle, but I'm only doing half up top. And if you look at my YouTube video on Andy Goldsworthy, he does this in another couple pieces of work. And I find that really interesting too. So this is working with like reflection. So that's basically it. That's all the time I really want you to take when making these things, maybe like 20 minutes, half an hour max. What I really would like to see you do is work with a couple of different types of materials. Don't just focus on one. You may already have an idea of how to do your project, but what I really want to see is variety. Just because you have one idea doesn't mean it's going to work. So it's important that you come up with multiple ideas in case something goes wrong or the materials deteriorate by the time you are done. So that's all I have for my 3D class. I hope you guys enjoyed your 3-day weekend. Thank you for watching my video. Stay tuned until Thursday, and I'll have another demo video where it'll be a little bit more interactive for my 3D students. And I hope that you guys found this video very helpful. And if you have any questions, please just message me on Edsby. And that's all I'm really looking for you guys to do throughout the week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Nope, I didn't turn it off. Oh, I didn't turn it off again. You're working on